Welcome. Hello, everybody. We are live. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. If you have been with me, my vow to you is that we are going to get some good leadership nuggets in, and then we're going to get out. So, one of the vows is never to be before you for more than 20, 30 minutes. 30 minutes? Max. And so, welcome. This is our 30-day challenge where we are advancing on purpose. And we are at day 18. I am so super stoked. Let me go over some housekeeping. Listen, we are coming live 30 days straight, and this is for the mid career woman. Technically, it's for anyone that aspires to be a leader or in leadership. However, my particular focus is on the mid career woman, and I want her to be able to level up to executive level positions. And so, this 30-day challenge is for you so you can advance on purpose. Now, interestingly, today's topic is strategies for leading through a crisis. And typically, I have a team with me, or just a really small team that helps me to do our lives. And so, y'all, I'm solo today. And so, if I look away, don't despair. If I look down, don't despair. I may not give the level of service that they're used to giving, but y'all, I'm going to do the daggone thing. And so I am so excited that we are at day 18. And so what we did yesterday, that was we discussed the critical role of leadership in bringing about organizational change in the workplace. If you missed it, please make sure that you check it out on Facebook, or you can check it out on YouTube. So, whatever type of streaming that you normally catch this on, the replays will be there. So, please go back and check it out. Today, we're going to be discussing the importance of understanding leadership and strategies for leading through a crisis. And you can do it. You can lead through a crisis. As you may know, leadership is definitely a crucial aspect of a successful career. It becomes more crucial how you're handling crisis. Can you do that with calm? Can you do that without blowing up? Can you do that and still provide clear instructions? Can you do that and also listen to feedback? But I'm getting way ahead of myself. By the end of our session today, we are going to understand how to just be a leader and lead our teams through difficult times. And so we're going to do that by talking about, normally we talk about three particular areas, but tonight we're going to be discussing two, which is qualities of a great leader. And we're not going to, obviously, we do not have time to go through every last quality of a great leader, but we're just going to pinpoint and hone in on a few areas, and then leading through crisis. So, those are the two areas that we are going to be looking at today. And so, if you've been with me, you know I love to do roll call. And listen, whether you are new and just catching us on day 18, or perhaps you have been with us before, I'd like to do roll call. And in this roll call, what I do like is for you to tell us your name, also where you're tuning in from. And listen, again, whether it's live or whether you're watching the replay, do that because myself, my team, we go through the comments and we love to be able to acknowledge you. And in addition, if there is something resonating with you, listen, it is what I do is I help mid-career women level up to executive level positions. And I need to know that I am speaking your language. And so please let me know what's resonating. So if we're talking about maybe emotional intelligence and I give a story, and if that's resonating, let me know that that particular story or that particular adage, whatever it is, has resonated with you. And if you have any questions, listen, drop them in there. I would love to be able to see what your needs are and to be able to address those. So, definitely, I welcome questions. I welcome your feedback. I welcome it all. So, definitely, thank you again. And I am looking forward to reading your comments. Now, again, if you've been with me, you know I generally tell a story. If you're curious about my why to all of this, then let me tell you this. Go back to day one, because if you go back to day one, then I will be, or you'll be able to see my story. I tell it all on day one. But stories are important. Stories sometimes is how we learn. And then to be able to see yourself in someone's story, whether that's to, hey, I can get to that particular level, or you know what? Listen, thank you for sharing that because I won't make that mistake. And I think it's really crucial that we learn from one another. And so that's one of the reasons why I love to tell stories. And so I'm going to tell a quick story, and also you'll know I'm a coach, and I take confidentiality extremely serious. And so any story that I am sharing of someone else's, I have changed the name, and I may sometimes just tweak it just a little bit because confidentiality is huge for me and I never want to violate that. And also note, I've been in this leadership world for 20 plus years. I hate to say 20 plus years, but I don't look like it. But yes, I have. And so 20 plus years, I have lots of stories. I have seen lots of things. I've worked with lots of different people. And I've personally made plenty of mistakes through this. So I have a plethora of information that I can share. And so I'm going to talk about Jennifer. And Jennifer, high performing, mid level manager working in the government, faced a unprecedented, I mean, talk about crisis. It was like 911 in the office on one particular day. And an important project that her team was working on literally just hit so many roadblocks, leading to delays and soaring costs. Morale, of course, come on, you done missed your deadline. People are saddened and just morale just low. Stakeholders, and when they are expecting something and something is so a 911 for them, then it was like, oh my gosh, are they going to make it? Are they going to do it? And so stakeholders anxious, and rather than crumbling under pressure, Jennifer literally was like, come on, we got this. She took the reins and she communicated openly with her team, stakeholders. She made some tough decisions to steer the project back on track and even put in late hours to make sure it was done. Jennifer wasn't just managing, she was leading. She had spent many years investing in understanding her team, understanding the different facets of leadership, whether it was the EI, she was able to manage the crisis in the moment. And when the chips were down, it paid off. Both her and her team were recognized. They received an award for all of their work. And then they received another one because of the crisis that came through. So Jennifer's ability to lead through crisis, it showed up. And guess who was looking? Of course, senior leader, management executives were looking, and she was accredited to being able to really thoroughly manage that crisis. And so on this evening, again, we're going to talk. Our first point is going to be qualities of a great leader. And what I did share earlier was that there are woo, thousands of qualities of a great leader. So obviously, I'm not going to hone in on everything for this evening. We're going to talk about quickly, and I mean quickly, communication, adaptability, and inspire. These are things that you've heard woven over the past 17 days. And the first key area is communication. You must be able to communicate clearly and effectively, especially during times of crisis. And I mean, of course, it goes past just times of crisis, but it is so key, the communication being clear and effective. Stop making assumptions. You make assumptions that someone is on the same page. You make assumptions that people have the same common sense, coursing through their bodies. We don't have the same common sense. Your common sense is your common sense. Mine is mine. And I can probably guarantee you it's slightly different. And so don't make that mistake. So you need to be able to listen to your team, understand their concerns, and provide them with the information they need to feel supported and motivated. A crisis is not the time to just shut down, okay? It's not the time to shut down. It's the time to communicate more than ever. It's not the time to yell and fuss. It's time to communicate. Transparency fosters trust, and trust is critical when you're navigating any type of choppy water. And this doesn't mean sharing every last small detail, but it means that you need to provide enough information so your team members understand what's happening and what's expected of them and how they can contribute to the solution. And so the second area is adaptability. And we've spoken about this before. As a leader, you must be able to adapt to changing circumstances and be flexible in your approach. When I came on, I was like, oh, we had a little, and I'm going to run this show by myself. Did I freak out? No. And you could be saying, well, it's not that difficult. You just have to click on a couple of buttons. It doesn't matter. It was changed. Someone else, because it may not have been such a crisis to me, could be a crisis to somebody else. And we have to be adaptable. Okay, you know what? Let me be transparent to the people. Hey, if I look down, it doesn't mean I'm not paying attention. It just means that I'm doing a little bit more than I'm used to doing. And so adaptability is something that has to start to course through your veins. And how do you get it to course through your veins? You really have to start practicing it now. Practice it at work, yes, but I say this all the time. You practice it with your friends, practice it with your loved ones, practice it with your family. Practice adaptability. Okay, so dinner plans changed. That's a great key for you to be, they changed. There's nothing wrong with change. Let me just switch out. You can practice these skill sets. They don't always have to be practiced on the job. And so the other thing that I like to speak about, it would be inspire and motivate your team. This means setting clear a vision, a clear vision, not what is that? What's that term? Clear as mud. We don't want a clear as mud vision, okay? Because down the south we would say it was clear as mud, wasn't it? No, we we don't want clear as mud. We want we want beautiful turquoise water clear, okay? So set a clear vision, lead by example. I can't stress to you enough. And I know some of you are sitting out there saying, listen, Linda, listen, lady. I lead by example. Well, I'm going to say this back to you. Listen, Linda, I see so many people that don't lead by example, and I see it too often. Be the change that you want to see and create an environment where your team feels empowered and valued, where they feel that they have a voice, that they can say something, and you're not going to wrinkle your nose up or talk about them behind their back because we don't do that, right? Right. We really don't do that, right? Okay. All right. So our second point is going to be crisis times. So when we're in crisis times, we want to lead with empathy. So I'm going to talk about 3 points in this crisis time. And the first one's going to be leading with empathy. Listen, we need to lead with empathy. Leading with empathy is essential during a crisis. Your team members can feel overwhelmed, anxious, stressed out, and don't hate on them for feeling overwhelmed, anxious, and stressed out, okay? You have to allow people time to grow. It's crucial to show them that you understand their concerns and that you support them, and you can do it. I know that you have lots of hats. I know that you may be juggling a lot, but you can do this. You can support them. And if you need to understand more, please make sure you join our webinar so I can help you with that too. You can do this by checking on them regularly, listening to their feedback, and providing them with resources and support they need to cope with the situation. By doing so, you're going to also help build trust. You're going to foster that positive work environment. We need more positive work environments out there, okay? And also, you're going to create a sense of community among your team members. The second point that I want to talk to when it comes to crisis times is to be transparent and honest. Stop lying to your people. I said it. Yes, I did. And stop filtering lies to your people. I said it. And there are going to be lots of leaders who disagree with me saying this, but I'm gonna tell you, be transparent and honest. That doesn't mean that you have to tell every last thing, but you do need to be transparent and honest. During a crisis, rumors and misinformation can spread quickly, causing further anxiety and stress. Anxiety and stress right now are riddled in our work environments. Don't add to it. To avoid this, as a leader, you must be transparent, honest with your team members. This means providing them with accurate and timely information about the situation, being open to feedback and questions, and addressing any issues or concerns that arise. Being transparent and honest can help to alleviate some of the anxiety and build trust with your team members. But when you sprinkle in lies, you're not going to build that trust. And when you finally decide to come clean and really lead this honest working environment, it's just going to take you that much more time to be able to cultivate that environment. So start it right. Start it right with the truth. And there are times that you can't share things with employees. Then you just need to say that. Unfortunately, I would love to be able to tell you about this, but right now I am unable to share. That's better than making up a lie. Okay. Our third point is going to be decisive and take action. During a crisis, there may be tough decisions that need to be made. And as a leader, you must be willing to make them. This means taking decisive actions to address the situation, communicating clearly and effectively with your team, and making tough decisions that are in the best interest of the organization and its members. By doing so, you can maintain stability, build confidence, and lead your team through crisis effectively. And when we're talking about making tough decisions, there's risk involved in everything. If that's an area where you're like, I can probably do a little bit better with, then I really do urge you to join our webinar and bring that up so we can talk about that in the room. And so, speaking of webinars, such a horrible transition because I'm not talking about the webinar. It's a horrible transition, but it's okay. I'm gonna talk about the gift giveaway. And so we give a gift giveaway once a week. And in order to receive that gift, all you have to do is join our Facebook group. You can use that QR code, or you can look for Next Level Progression Tribe. The gifts are housed there. You really do want the gifts because I can only go through so much. 30 days were generally 3 points. Today was two. I can't give it all to you. And I do want you to advance on purpose. And so, because I know I can't give it all to you, and even though we have our webinar on December 2nd, there's still things that I know that you need. And so I have cultivated these gifts. They are checklists, there's an ebook, there are articles that you need, and they will help you to advance on purpose. And so, in order to get that, you need to be in our tribe. And so, please go ahead and sign up. I mean, literally, we will be a group of people that supporting you on your journey. We are supporting one another. You get some good leadership, other nuggets and bites, and you get community. And don't be fooled. Community is important. And so I want to end with, in our discussion, we've highlighted the significance of comprehending leadership and the approaches that can be taken to lead through a crisis. And as a leader, you need to have certain qualities, such as being an effective communicator, having the ability to adapt with different situations, and being able to have the skill to encourage and motivate your team. And during a crisis, it's crucial that you lead with empathy, be transparent and honest, and take decisive actions. By fostering these strategies, you can help your team to navigate through challenging times and emerge stronger at the end. And so I like to end with a quote, and that is, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. John C. Maxwell. I love this quote because it encapsulates the essence of leadership, especially during challenging times. And so join me tomorrow for more insight, great nuggets, because it is my goal to help you move up in your career. You deserve to advance on purpose.